Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dalton at Dalton TFs, and today I'm bringing you the review. Well, it's another figure that's blue since doing Skybite, and that is going to be the reissued Wave figure. Oh, the reissued Wave that got canceled at the beginning of last year or this past year, and that's going to be the Generations Skids. And as you can see, he rolls it really well. He is a nice little compact little, I guess, futuristic, I don't know, hatchback. Not quite as IDW appearance from what I've seen. And, I do like this shade of blue. Would like it to be a little bit darker. Though, I do love the red paint. And the silver paint up on here on the grill, along with the red and the yellow. It's got really nice dark tinted blue windows. Do appreciate that. He's got red painted taillights. A little Autobot symbol, and you kind of see that the red is kind of off center from the white. I mean, not a big deal, but it's just a noticeable thing. He does come with his little blasters. You can take them apart. I like to peg it with this one here with the clip down, just because. You can take this little smaller pistol and push it there. Nothing like having weapons in the side of a vehicle. We can take those off, and let's compare them with his Wave Mate, which is Gold Bug here, or Gold Fire if you prefer. See, they're for the size class it works. I mean, he is a little bit shorter, but he is wider and taller. Another figure you compare him with is the Trailbreaker, because these guys originally came out fairly close at the same time, within the same year. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. You want to just start by popping up the doors. You want to rotate these out. There's a little soft tab right here. It just pops down. Doesn't make a sound or anything, but you can feel it. You can pop this windshield up. And I like to slide it between the doors and the windows. Just gives it a little more, kind of like a shell, I guess. You can see one of the features there. You can just go ahead and pull these out. These become the arms. Rotate the feet out of the way. Pop down what will become his toes. I guess you can call them his toes. Rotate those around. Split the legs apart, and you want to rotate this down until it gets there, and then straighten out the legs. To bring these shoulder pieces out the rest of the way. They're on a sliding ball joint. Like, it's a ball joint, but it slides in and out. So, rotate this around. I need to rotate the camera so you can actually see this. Rotate the waist around. Straighten out the feet. Straighten out the legs again. I'm going to take the hood of the car, pull it out. Rotate his head from the top of the hood. And then it will accordion down and into place. Get his arms just straightened out here. Get him to where you can stand. Which you have to do this little kind of animated hero-S stance. So straighten out his biceps. And there you've got Skids in his robot mode, looking fairly like his original counterpart. If I had the G1 Skids, I'd compare them, but I can tell you right now that this one's going to be a lot brighter in color compared to that one. As far as, everything else, he does have a lot of weapons, but I'll get into that after I go over articulation, that way you can see how it hinders the articulation. So, you can see here he's got a ball, I want to say ball joint? Yeah, ball jointed head, but nothing really left to right. It's just been up, down, side to side. As far as the shoulders, like I said, it's on a sliding ball joint, so it'll slide here into place but still function just fine. Kind of limited, but it still works. Nothing at the bicep, ball jointed elbows, so up, down, rotates all around. Nothing at the wrist. At the waist, he does rotate 360. His hips forward, just a little bit back, which I'm glad they fixed the problem with them being swapped. So now you get them forward, just a little bit back. In and out, rotates at the thigh. He's got a pseudo ratchet joint for his knee, but you want to be careful because sometimes it'll, well, this time it's working fine here and there. So, alright, never mind. I just remember seeing somewhere that, you know, rotating the joint up here, if it doesn't work right, that ends up being too loose. So, never mind about that. He's got awkward ball joints for his, I guess, sideshow Bob style feet. The ball joint only moves out this way, and it rotates all over the place, and he doesn't have much for a heel. So, like I said, you got to get him in this kind of animated hero stance with the legs coming up like this, then straightening out. It's just a little weird. As far as weapons, you can already see 2 of them here. Well, technically 4, but you can take these, and they're geared together, and you can flip out his little arm cannons, flip down his shoulders, and then you've got under the fender cannons, or not cannons, missile launchers. And back here you bring this down, and it should activate a little spring, but I just tend to just pop them up like that. You got his over the shoulder cannons. And let's not forget 2 of his other weapons that he comes with, and that's being these that can become his rifle, or, like I said previously, you can split them apart to become separate weapons. I just prefer to have them as the rifle. Peg that right into his hand like so. And there you got him all armed to the teeth as he would appear in the IDW comics. You can just get him to stand up properly. There we go. So you see, fairly nice. And as far as shoulder movement goes, it's not really hindered that much. I thought with this being here it would hinder it a little bit more, but not as bad as I initially thought. And his arm just kind of drooped down. The ball joint is a little loose on his elbow. You can see he's still got a lot of nice paint apps, especially here on the missile launchers. Just all that silver and red detail. Then the gunmetal gray here for his cannons. Even a little red here on the door wings to mimic the outside. The one problem I do have with the paint, though, is the paint here on the toes of the feet. I wish they would have just molded this in a red plastic, because if you flip this up, you can actually see, if I can zoom in here, paint is actually chipping, and that's just from the little locking click. So if they had just molded it in red plastic like they did here for the biceps, it would have been just fine. I don't see why they had to use blue plastic painted red. But as far as other paint apps, you can see his face is painted silver, along with his eyes being painted yellow and a little red dot right there, kind of like a vent at the top of his head, a little crest. But yeah, very nice looking figure. Let me get a couple of others in robot mode for a size comparison, so I'll be right back. Alright, and here we have the, previously released figures, being Trailbreaker and Bumblebee, and as you can see, he does scale alright. I mean, it would be nice if he were a little bit taller and a little bit bulkier. I mean, not quite Voyager size, but just as a little bit larger of a deluxe. But, you know, I'm fine with it. I like the scale that they're kind of going with now. I mean, yeah, the deluxes are a little bit smaller, but I'm not going to make a huge deal about it because it's been gone over time and time again by now. But you can see he does look good. I mean, here we got Trailbreaker and Bumblebee. I mean, who better to scale them with as far as deluxe figures from, you know, this time period, I guess. Especially when it comes to Classics Generations line. I mean, it just kind of fits in with these two. But that's pretty much it for Skids. I mean, he is a really fun figure. I do dig him quite a bit. I'm finally, you know, like I said with Goldbuck, I'm glad to have this wave of figures. So, you know, look forward to, you know, my Dreadwing and Waspinator videos. I will have those up, I think, sometime next week, because of just the way I've got things scheduled. Because if you've seen my Facebook page, which is in the description below, you'll see that first it was Skybite, then it was him, and then next is a certain active. So, that being said, this has been Dalton, Adult Tendencies TFs. Check out my Facebook and Twitter page. They're both in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. So, see ya.